Hey James, I hope you're doing well. I know this has been a long time coming, but I'm gonna do a video of my KAFO braces. I think you have something that's pretty similar. Mine look a little bit different. I know yours had a kind of these carbon fiber-esque kind of outer pieces to them, but basically they all work essentially the same. They kind of lock out at the knee and the ankle, and that way we can just kind of waddle using a walker, which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna take a minute to kind of put them on, get up in them, and just kind of show you how I've been able to maneuver and get some good kind of physical rehab using them. So first thing, want to make sure you have like a nice flat pair of shoes. These are like running shoes. I would say, like, for whatever reason, these are just the extra pair of shoes that I had. I know a lot of folks like to use Converse because they're really flat. Like there's like a really flat arch. There's not a lot of cushion, so it's quite stable. But basically, I learned using these. Want to make sure, let's see, so for me, I've got like some kind of adjustments here, like an adhesive pad to kind of even out my foot because of the way that my foot kind of sits within the shoe. So first things first, I want to take everything off your backpack. I don't know about you, but I always keep a backpack on my back. So I always want to take that off. And then you kind of want to find a nice sort of open area. We live in like a pretty small apartment, so it's not the easiest thing to do. But we just kind of want to find, ideally, like a hardwood floor. And then kind of one by one, take off your shoe, your everyday shoe. And then for me, I've got like my release mechanism back here, just kind of like bends at the knee like that. And then that way I can kind of stick.
Wait, can you do that again?
Sure. So it's kind of locks out, and then I can kind of press up on these two little kind of release triggers here. And then that way the knee kind of flexes. So you want to make sure we got the straps out of the way, and then kind of lift your leg up. One thing to note, like, being flexible is really good. So I don't stretch as much as I used to, but I used to stretch pretty frequently every day. Hip mobility is really important. Also, just like having pretty flexible hamstrings to be able to get your legs inside of your braces is pretty important. So kind of just like lift up your first leg. I always try to fit my kind of hamstring in first, and then my heel. And this kind of takes some getting used to. It's kind of a weird thing, but basically, always want to wear pants too. Not the best thing to wear shorts. So it's okay if your heel's not completely flush, like within the brace, like on the bottom here. We'll get it all adjusted. But basically, first we want to make sure that nothing is pinched. The fabric is kind of tucked into the thigh of the brace. And then we kind of take these straps one by one and just tighten them, just like that. Cool. And then this is basically the strap here is attached to my release lever. So when I want to kind of release my legs, so this is kind of only used when I kind of flop back in my chair and my legs are still locked out. I can pull on this strap, and then that will like release the release triggers. So that's good. And then let's see.
Thank you.
Let's see. There we go. You kind of find a system that works best for you in terms of the sequence that you strap everything in. You'll notice that like it's not perfect, and it feels like it's not the easiest fit. You notice that I've left this strap kind of open. I just got in the habit of doing that last. So you kind of wiggle your shoe on, and then eventually it kind of goes on like that. You don't need it to be super tight. Just make sure it's not going to fall off your the foot of your brace, tie your shoe, take this one, this is the shin strap, and then make sure that's good there. So, one leg's done, and then want to make sure that the shoe itself is like fairly flat, like not so far over that the heel is kind of coming too far in. Just want to make sure everything's nice and even. So that's one leg done.